Hi, and welcome to Miss Imp's third ever virtual drop-in. This week I'm so excited. We've got Jay Sukow from Today Improv all the way in Los Angeles doing today's workshop on solo improv and techniques for monologues. He's genuinely one of the best improvisers I've ever seen, so I'm so excited for this workshop. As always, feel free to take a moment to do a physical or vocal warm up before the session starts. Hopefully, in time for next week's workshop, we'll have a couple of extra bonus videos of like warm ups that you can play at any time. So keep your eyes peeled for those. Just a quick reminder: we're looking out for people who want to take some of these workshops, like teach them, and pay you for it. So if you're interested, please drop us an email at contact@missimp.co.uk. Also, if you enjoyed this workshop and you want to support them and maybe help us put on some more, we normally pay or charge £5 or £3 for one of our physical drop-ins. If you are in a position to do so, we have like a donation. So if you want to pay the cost of the drop-in, then you can. But it's free. There's no obligation to. Don't worry about it. With this workshop as well, you can either watch it all the way through and then come back to the exercises at the end, or you can watch Jay explain the exercise, give you an example, and then you can pause the video and do the exercise yourself. Whichever way works for you. Thank you so much for tuning in and enjoy the workshop. Take it away, Jay Sukow.
Hi everybody, my name is Jay Sukow and I am based in Los Angeles, California, and I have my own company called Today Improv, and we teach improv to businesses, actors, regular folks all throughout the world. I'm really excited to be here offering some tips and exercises to help you become a more confident improviser. I look at improv as not like you make good or bad choices. It's just you can make it easy or difficult on yourself. And so this is like a cafeteria. Take what you can and then leave the rest. But hopefully these will give you some skills and tools you can add to your tool belt, because remember, these are all tools, not rules. Anything anybody tells you, it's a tool, not a rule. First off, I think you have to accept what's going on. And right now, we have to accept where we are. I'm currently recording this in Los Angeles, and we're in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic. And so we just have to accept that that's what it is. That doesn't mean that you're not without power. I think accepting it is very powerful, because then you can move forward with what your choices are. Just like in an improv scene, accept the scene you're in, not the one you want to be in, and then move forward with those choices. So I've got a couple of exercises I'd like to give you today that will help you become more sharp when you're by yourself. People have asked me, can you improvise alone, or what skills can you use when you don't have people around you? And I think there are several things you can do when you're by yourself to maintain those skills. And so the first one I want to talk about are monologues. Now, monologues are a great tool for any improviser. And when I first started, in our long form shows, we did a lot of monologues. And right now there's a form called the Armando, which uses monologues very well, but not a lot of times do you see characters step out and deliver monologues in scenes as much as you used to. So that's something that you can always insert into your long form and short form play as well. If you know the game Oscar Winning Moment, that's just basically delivering a monologue when prompted. So there are two ways I want to talk to you today about coming up with character monologues. Now, the first way is through an object. You can use an object to inform your character. I'm going to pick an object from my desk here, and then I'm going to hold the object up, and I'm going to deliver a monologue to you. Now, this object is going to be something that means something to me, okay? So I'm going to pick, I guess I'm going to pick this one right here. This is the first one that I saw, and it's this. Oh, look at the kitty cat. This is actually my own cat. I have two cats, and this is one of my cats. This is my cat, Lucy. Lucy and her sister came home with me one day when I was very sad and depressed. And I went to the pound and I saw Lucy, and I said, I want to have that cat so much. And then Lucy's sister, Ella, came. And Ella did not want to be left alone. Ella is a little bit more of a challenge than Lucy. But Lucy right here, Lucy is really my angel. And I'm so blessed to have her. They say that animals aren't part of the family, but I disagree. Lucy is as much of a part of my family as my own mother and father are, and I'm so happy to have her. Lucy brings joy to my life anywhere I go, and oh boy, you better believe that I bring her joy as well. I love you, Lucy. You know, Lucy acts more like a dog than a dog does. I know people say that like cats aren't dogs or they don't have tendencies of dogs, but I disagree because Lucy shows you unconditional love. And that's all we really want in this world is unconditional love. I love you. And scene. So that monologue was inspired by something I just grabbed from my desk. Personally, I'll be honest, I'm not a cat person. I think dogs are way better than cats for myself personally. But because I took this object and I grabbed it, it's more, to me, it leads to more interesting choices and moments if I'm into the thing, if I am a cat person, than if I'm not a cat person. So this also gives you an opportunity to play people that are different than yourselves and really try to be them. I really want to be somebody that enjoys a cat rather than, hey, I'm pretending I enjoy cats, but we all know I don't. That will open up the different characters you can play on stage. Also, I drew from a lot of my own personal experience. I know somebody who has a cat whose name is Lucy. So I'm making it easy on myself just to draw those little facts about the scene because it's fact and truth is what we're talking about here, right? And the fact is I'm a cat person, but the truth is how I feel, right? So as you're doing these monologues, you can start headed more towards the truth than talk about the fact or details of who that person is. We want you to show us, not tell us. So show us how you feel rather than just telling us how you feel. I had a teacher once who said to me, improvisers should never say how they feel on stage. They should show how they feel. And so while I think that it's valuable to say how you feel, I think it's also a lot of times more valuable to show us that's how you feel rather than saying. So now you're into your emotions, which means you're out of your head. So the first exercise you can do is pick an object and then go ahead and deliver a monologue. What's fun is to pick an object also that you don't know. Nobody's going to be watching you, so you can take these risks and try to come up with the character right there on the spot, uncover who they are in that moment. And don't worry about being right or wrong. And again, this is something you can do on your own. So please give yourself the permission and the grace to fail as you do these. If you notice that you start stuttering or you say something you don't mean to say, incorporate that into your character rather than ignoring it or trying to brush it aside. I want you to incorporate it. It's like jazz. I want you to play the wrong note again and again, and then it becomes part of the pattern. Remember, as improvisers, we're making this up. So you can't apologize because you don't know what you're doing, and people don't know that it's made up. They don't know that it's a mistake, I should say. Like they know it's created on the spot, but a lot of times they think we've scripted it. That's how good it is. Even bad improv, it's funny. Even bad improv, they think we've scripted. So they thought we spent time preparing it. So as you continue, start incorporating those mistakes into your character and make them traits or even character flaws as you go. So one is object monologue. So take a monologue based on an object and have it have value to you, right? It means something to you. It's okay to be like, this cat thing, my ex-wife gave it to me. I hate her. Like, that's fine. But I think that's also a lot of times a lazy choice. We make a choice to hate things. So make a choice to enjoy it. Make a choice to be interested. If you're interested, you're going to be interesting to a lot of people. The second monologue you can do is developing a catchphrase or a gesture. So those are things you can repeat in the monologue, is a catchphrase or a gesture, and see where it leads you. A lot of the fun in improv is not knowing where you're going to go, but enjoying where you're being led by this. So it's like, let it come to you rather than forcing it, which is, discovery versus invention, right? So let it come to you. For those of you who are musicians, also are athletes, that's a very big part of it, is you're getting in the zone. When a basketball was easy to me, everything slowed down and I felt like I was in the zone and I couldn't miss. And that's what we try to get to with improv. So the second exercise we're going to do The second one is using a catchphrase and a gesture. So I might just do one, I might do both, I'm not sure. But I think the gesture that I'm going to use, I'm going to do both. The gesture will be something like this that I'll keep doing, and then the catchphrase is going to be, it's going to be, that's life. That's life. You know, sometimes you just got to take the good with the bad. Sometimes you get the bread, and sometimes you get the butt end of the loaf. But, oh man, that's life. It's like you can't plan for it. It just is what it is. You just have to be along there for the ride. You know, sometimes you're the batter, and sometimes you're the pitcher. And sometimes you strike out, and sometimes you hit a home run. Sometimes you strike them out, and sometimes they hit a home run. But that's life. It's something that you have to enjoy as you go. You know, take it from me. I've been pretty much the same as I have my whole life. And as I'm nearing the end of it, I'm thinking to myself, I haven't really done enough. And I really need to do more. And why haven't I done more? Why haven't I been more? I should. I need to. I want to. And I'll be honest with you. There's nothing I can do about it now. I am who I am. I do what I do. That's life. And scene. So I used the gesture this, and I used the that's life, and I took a moment, and my thought process was, I'm somebody who just, accepts how it is. I don't blame people. And then I also discovered, I placed myself a little bit older, and I said, maybe I've just had these regrets I've recently thought about, and then I just have to accept it and say, that's life. Part of that probably, to be honest with you, is influenced in what's happening in the world outside. So go easy on yourself. You're going to be facing a lot of those moments because it's so overwhelming, but everything passes. So if you can warm yourself up and do something silly and move and all of that, that might help you get past what's going on in life to get back to a sense of play. But if you do this and all your scenes revolve around what's going on in your current day, that's okay too. Just go easy on yourself, but realize the things that happen to us in life do affect us out there on stage. Another thing that I want to do is an exercise that comes from this book, which is Theater Games for the Lone Actor by Viola Spolin. This is a book that I got off of Amazon. You can still order it now, and it gives you a ton of exercises to stay sharp right here when you're by yourself, things you can do on your own. And one is something called What's Beyond, and it's entering. And the instructions are, reflect what happened in the place you have just come from. Let your body reflect what just took place. Show it in your shoulders, your walk, your fingertips. Show, don't tell, which is another big thing for improvisers. Show, don't tell. So I'm going to do that really quick. I'm just going to take a moment. And this is again called What's Beyond, Entering. I got to tell you. They are having a ball in the ballroom next to us. I mean, I thought I was going into the bathroom, but when I ended up, it was a ballroom, and they are in the middle of doing the Macarena. Hey, Doug, you remember the Macarena? It's like, hey, Macarena. And they are just going crazy out there. Nobody even asked me what I was doing. They said to me, hey, come on in. And all of a sudden, I'm doing the Macarena. I'm doing a conga line. I got to tell you, they are having a ball in there. And it makes me feel real good. Makes me feel real good. It makes me feel real good that I know that there are people out there who just let me join the party. I think that's all I'm looking for, Doug. All I'm looking for is I just want to join the party. And man, I'm glad to be here with you, and this is great. Don't get me wrong, your wedding is fantastic. This is one of the best weddings I've ever been to. But next door, man, oof, they are having a ball next door. So, anyway, apologies. Everybody, raise a glass to Doug. Cheers. And scene. Boy, that was a lot of fun. I decided also personally to change up my energy because I had been a little lower energy. I decided I want to do something of more of a higher energy character. And my monologue, actually, I started delivering it to one person. And as I was talking, I discovered, oh, what would be fun is that I actually am walking in, I'm coming back to my best friend's wedding and I'm giving a toast. And before I did the toast, I did all of that information. And then towards the end of the monologue, I thought, oh, maybe I'm talking to my best friend who's getting married and I'm on the dais and I need to turn to the rest of the group and I need to raise a glass and give a toast. So that just was a bunch of really fun discoveries. It's always easier for me to stand up when I'm doing anything online as well. But I was like, I'm just going to change my energy. So to be able to just change my energy without having any idea what it was going to go to was super fun. I also like the name Doug. I think Doug's a fun name to say. If you're doing online teaching or you're doing online training, stand up. A lot of times we sit down, and what happens is when you sit down, you become a passive viewer. And think of your body position, your physicality. You sit down, you look into a screen, you're probably watching something, you're not as active. So just the action of standing and giving some movement really helps. As you continue to improvise, think about using the technology instead of fighting against it. Like there are things we can't do that we could have done before when we're on stage with someone else. But now there's an opportunity to improvise with people all over the world. So take advantage of that. Look at how you use the camera. If you go in like this, if you go back, you can actually now walk into frame and then walk out of frame. So changing that a little bit will help. I think everything is like flipping on its ear. Some of the things we're used to in improv, some things translate well, some things don't. So it's trial and error right now. Some things that might not have worked in the past might work now. So there are a couple really good exercises in this book. And for those of you who don't know, Viola Spolin is kind of called the high priestess of improv. But her work derives from her teacher, Neva Boyd, and Neva Boyd's focus was, she was a sociologist who focused on the importance of play in adults. And then Viola Spolin took that a step further, and among other things, she helped immigrant children in Chicago in the early 1900s assimilate into America using improv games. And she would look at problems such as none of these children speak the same language, and then she said, well, let's create a game to help them learn and help them grow. And that's where gibberish came from. And that's why there's a lot of gibberish and emotional games in improv. So she has several books, but this one specifically right now for what you can do individually to keep sharp, keep your skills sharp. Two more things that will help. One is new experiences. So once, this week, what I want you to do is listen to a podcast you would never listen to. Listen to a new music you would never listen to. Put on clothing at home you wouldn't normally wear. Just try something new. Have something new to eat. Like just open yourself up to new experiences. Watch something new on TV. Watch a movie you would never watch. Open yourself up, because then the more new experiences you have, the more you can add that to what you do. And then the second one is follow the fear. Every Friday is hashtag Follow the Fear Friday. And it's where we're encouraged to do something that scares us. So something once a week that scares you. Now, of course, I'm talking safety first. So, don't do something silly and get yourself hurt, but do something that scares you. And that might mean returning a phone call or an email, getting to those taxes, whatever it is. Do something once a week that scares you. We have right now a really good excuse to do something that scares us because of the situation we're in. So you can use that as an excuse to reach out to people. But even when this passes, what you can do is you can once a week do something that scares you and just say, for me, it might be when I go to a restaurant and I ordered food I didn't like, or not didn't like, I ordered food that and a different dish came. And it's like, oh, I didn't want cheese on this hamburger. Normally, I might just eat it anyway, but a fear thing for me might just be to say, oh, excuse me, could I have this without cheese? And it seems like for some people so simple and so easy to do, and for other people it might seem overwhelming because that's just who they are. So do something once a week that scares you. I guess that's it. My class comes with lifetime tech support. So if you want any additional information or have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter at J Sukow, or I think on Facebook I'm at J Austin Sukow. But yeah, and I'm at Jay at todayimprov.com, todayimprov.com. But yeah, thank you so much for tuning in and listening, and I hope you have a great day. Follow the fear, it shall set you free.